I'm fortunate. I have a very lovely team of people who work with me.
Yeah.
We have great systems and processes. I do the meetings, I do the events that I feel like doing that give me pleasure.
Wow.
I'm deeply involved and deeply passionate about EEMA. I spend over 50 to 60% of my entire time, my professional time, over 50 to 60% every day, 2 to 3 hours, and 1 full day a week. That's a Tuesday. I sit in the EEMA office, and I currently serve as the General Secretary. I've been involved in the National Executive Committee in different capacities over the last 15 years.
Right.
So I've served as Secretary, as Vice President, as practically every designation there is there. And it is a passion for me because this is the industry that has given me everything that I have.
आइए आ जाइए अभी चाहिए जी हाँ ladies and gentlemen, event lovers, creative dreamers and people who just clicked by accident. Welcome to Made for Media, brought to you by the Indian Institute of Creative Skills in association with NSDC Academy, powered by Media and Entertainment Skill Council. Well, what is today's topic? आज का topic क्या है? Confetti, coffee, and creative chaos. I'm your host, Dr. Vandana Vadera, Director, Innovation and Communication, Indian Institute of Creative Skills. And today, we have a man with us who can turn even a board meeting into a Bollywood after party. That is Mr. Ankur Kalra, Managing Director of VIBGYOR Events. Ankur is the founder of VIBGYOR, one of the well-known names of the experiential world. With over 2 decades of experience under his belt, he has taken VIBGYOR from its humble beginnings in 2002 to over 100 plus employee agency with offices kahan sochiye Delhi, Mumbai and Bangalore. VIBGYOR is one of the few process-driven agencies that completely operates on project management software developed in-house. It works with some of the best-known brands across the country, such as Amazon, L'Oreal, Canon, Nestle, Microsoft, Ferrero Rocher, and many, many more. Ankur is also the founder members of the national industry body, EEMA, and has been very, very, very closely involved in its functioning right from its inception in 2008. He currently serves as the General Secretary in EEMA National Executive Council also. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Ankur Kalra. So, Ankur, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Vandy. So happy to be here.
And I'm so glad you could, in your schedule, you could fit ISCS. I'm so happy about that.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
So to begin with, I would like to know, and my lovely students and audience out there would love to know, what was your journey? Like, how were you as a child? How was your relationship with your brother, your mom, your dad? Were you also always orchestrating events, chota ghar ke, birthday parties and this and that? What was your journey as a child, college, till your graduation, whatever?
So, Vandy, I'm a spoilt Delhi boy.
Okay.
I had nothing to do with events till the beginning of my career, and we will come to how I reached there. But I grew up in Greater Kailash too. I grew up in a joint family. We were 23 of us in the same house.
Wow.
And it was such a wonderful childhood because I learned more from my cousins than from my teachers or from my colleagues or friends. And I'm so blessed that I grew up in a large joint family where there were so many people who were looking out for us. My father has had a small business, and my mother was a housewife, and we are 2 siblings, me and my brother Dhruv. And in our family, there were 5 boys and 2 girls. We were cousins, and all 5 boys from St. Columbus and both the girls from CJM. And we had a lovely childhood. I was very, very, very naughty as a kid. I was the naughtiest in my...
You still are.
Not too many people know that, Vandy. You have access to privilege. You have,
Friends know that.
you have access to privileged information, and that is how it should remain.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
yes, I was a very, very naughty child, and nobody expected me to do something serious in life.
Mhm.
And I passed out from St. Columbus. Then I did Bhagat Singh College, Delhi University, and then XLRI Jamshedpur. And while I was in college, I chanced upon the world of events, but that's another question. So I had a great, lovely childhood, very
Warm,
very
loving,
warm, loving,
caring.
sheltered, protected. South Delhi, spoiled.
Brat.
Yeah, not a brat, but yes, but I had a privileged upbringing.
You know what brat in army means? Born and raised in army territory.
Yes, army brats.
So
Thank you for telling me the full form. I know
that's
you
a
are one.
brat. So it's not something naughty. It's that you're born and raised. So I say, I'm a Fauji brat.
So I was a brag, born and raised in Greater Kailash.
Greater Kailash. That's a good one. That's a new one.
Let's not brag about it.
Let's not brag about it at all.
You're a brag too.
I'm a brag too, yes.
A
yes.
brat and a brag.
Brat and a brag, definitely. So, ऐसा था कि that you have been orchestrating events that actually redefine what big means. तो आपका जो गूगल कैलेंडर है कभी आपको माफ करेगा कि आपने उसको कभी सोने ही नहीं दिया? नेवर.
मेरा गूगल कैलेंडर मुझे पूरी तरह माफ करेगा. मेरा गूगल कैलेंडर को
प्यार करता है आपसे.
मैं कभी ओवरबर्डन नहीं करता हूँ.
Okay.
I lead a very, very systematic and organized life, Andy. I'm fortunate. I have a very lovely team of people who work with me.
Yeah.
We have great systems and processes. I do the meetings, I do the events that I feel like doing, that give me pleasure.
Wow.
And my Google Calendar is not at all overloaded. I
Lovely.
spend more than 60% of my time in EEMA.
Wow.
I spend time reading.
I'll come to that also. Yeah.
I spend time in the library. I spend time looking at YouTube videos. I spend time enriching my knowledge, enriching myself, giving back to society. And there is work also that happens. But I work on my own terms, and my Google Calendar has no complaints with me.
That's. I think you're the privileged ones.
Yeah.
So do you manage to squeeze in time for yoga?
Everything. I
recreation?
exercise 6 days a week, Wendy.
Wow.
And
That tells me
so,
how fit you are. Wonderful.
so I have been blessed, and God has been very kind.
Mm-hmm.
And I have tried to organize my life in such a way that I pursue my passions, my hobbies, and work happens side by side.
I think very few people can claim that, Ankur. And you are one of the blessed ones, not on the privileged ones. You're the blessed ones who can actually say this. Because whether it's in events, into experiential events, they all say we have no time at all.
So there is a finite need for money, Wendy, and I've understood that. Okay? I have calculated what is the amount of money I need every month for the rest of my life. I have reached that figure. Now I work for pleasure. I work for happiness. I work for stuff which gives me a high. Money happens. Money has been there, will be there. But I have, fortunately, by God's grace, crossed that stage where I need to work for money. And that is why
I can resonate with you.
I'm sure you do
I
the
can
same.
resonate. I do the same. जब दिल करता है
Backpack
उठाओ पहाड़ों पे भागो trekking के लिए. I can resonate.
I do the same with Goa, with Shimla, with wherever else.
Same here. In fact, last year, September till October, whole 2 months I spent in Canada all alone, backpacking from Vancouver to Labrador. The whole Canada I covered all alone.
Wow. So we'll call you Wendy from Vancouver.
Vandy from Vancouver. I like the name. Hey guys, it's a good name. Vandy
That
from
should
Vancouver.
be your podcast show, Wendy from Vancouver.
Actually, they had made it like witty, wicked Vandy.
That doesn't go with
It
you.
doesn't go with me. Okay.
Not wicked at all.
Okay. No.
Witty, yes.
So, Ankur, how did your foray into events happen? And, you said you had a normal life. You were never in events. You never organized a birthday party at home. So how did you eventually venture into events? How did that happen?
I used to break all the mirrors at home, and I used to ruin all the birthday parties by bursting the balloons. So I was the destructive guy at home.
Okay.
Nobody would trust me with organizing anything at that time. So it was a lovely accident, Wendy. Somebody had said something about me not earning enough in college, etc. And that is another story for another time. But But I looked for a part-time job when I was in second year college, and
Right.
in the newspaper I saw earn 10,000 rupees a month, work with a reputed bank, and I went, and there was this direct sales associate of Standard Chartered Bank
Right.
in a basement in Lajpat Nagar.
Right.
And lo and behold, I started at a salary of 2,750 rupees
Wow.
plus incentives.
Mm.
So they said, yes, you can earn up to 10,000, but the rest you have to earn through incentives.
Incentive.
And yeah, I started out with a jhola, selling credit cards from office to office, home to home, factory to factory, business to business. And as luck would have it, every week we used to change the location. So we used to start with Greater Kailash and then Okla and this, that. And while doing the route of Sarpriya Vihar, I happened to walk into an office which looked like a garage because it had a shutter. And there was a funny name which I'd never heard of a company which said Vizcraft. And there were 4-5 young people in it, all of whom were very interested to buy a credit card. So I sat there and I made 6 sales, which was the target for 1 month.
Wow.
And I was a very happy salesman that day. I had to go there again and again to collect their papers.
Yeah.
In the process, a lot of them did not have the credit worthiness, but that's
different thing
that's a different
altogether.
thing. But
आपको भगवान ने सब
but we got them all credit cards. And by the end of it, they offered me a job. They said, do you want to get into the world of event management? And I asked them, what is event management? They said, make a guess. I said, is it a management course? They said, come in, you'll get to know. And next I know, I was standing at the airport with a placard welcoming Dilip Tahil for an event.
Wow.
And so that was the happy accident. And little did I know that this will become my career, my life, my passion, and it'll be the reason for everything that I have today.
Wow, that's amazing.
So that was the year 1995, I think. And here we are in 2025, Randy.
Wow.
You've been in the business for 30 years. I've been in the business for almost
absolutely.
30 years now.
But I don't feel old at all.
Neither do you look it.
Thank you. Gracias. Muchas gracias. अच्छा, चलिए. अब बात करते हैं आपकी अपना baby, your own little baby, VIBGYOR. How did VIBGYOR happen? VIBGYOR कैसे आया? क्या आपने कुछ प्लान किया कि मैं इवेंट कंपनी खोलूंगा या उसके लिए कोई strategies बनाई, business plans बनाए? VIBGYOR, was it an accident or a planned thing?
So my life is full of happy accidents, Mandy. And so if we move along the same journey, I worked for about 2.5 years with Vizcraft. I gained a lot of understanding and exposure of the business there.
Right.
They even posted me to Fireball, which was one of the most happening discotheques.
Yes.
And what a time we had.
Yes.
After that, I was picked up by a company called Magnum Nexus. I worked there for 3-4 years. It was run by Rahul, Sushma, and Vidur. You knew all of them as well.
I knew. Yes, of
And
course.
then I switched over to the client side. I worked with Star TV as manager events and promotions in the Delhi office for National Geographic Channel.
Right.
And that was a great experience that gave me a sense of systems and processes. You know,
Right.
in the event industry, we usually don't have any system processes.
Yes.
We just have badness, we have
Yes.
passion, we have junoon.
Chaos.
Yeah,
Also.
so we thrive on the chaos. But NGC taught me how to systemize things, how to do weekly meetings, how to do monthly reports, how to create softwares, how to create a method of the madness.
Right.
And
Structured.
yes, so it taught me structure, and events taught me chaos, and I combined the two.
Wow.
And I remember I left that job in early 2002, probably January, and we were going for a trip to Vaishno Devi.
Yeah.
My mother's name started with a V. Veena was her name, and
Right.
I'd always thought that if I ever have my own business, it will start with a V. And, because I wanted to cover the entire spectrum, it should be called VIBGYOR. But I was very confused. I had some great offers from very large agencies of the time, which were offering me 2x and 3x of what I was earning in Star. And I was very confused. And I thought to myself that, I'm going on this trip. We went by road. And before the end of this trip, I need to have a solution. I need to have a decision whether I want to go the entrepreneurial way or I want to get back into the job scenario. And as I was thinking this, I was laughing to myself that how will God come and tell me? How will I get that answer?
Spark of inspiration.
How? And Suddenly, I see something. I see the most gorgeous rainbow I've ever seen in the sky.
Wow.
And I told the driver to stop. I got out and I said, thank you. I've got my answer.
Signal.
And I came back, and without looking back, I started VIBGYOR with just 2 people in our backyard, in our garage, 1 computer, 1 telephone line, and we were in business.
So Dhruv joined you in the beginning on that?
Much later, 2005 is when he came into the business.
Okay.
So I started with this colleague of mine called Neeraj, who was the creative guy. I was the business person, and the journey began.
And there was no looking back.
There was no looking back.
Wow. This is really amazing.
They were simpler times. Today, if you want to start an agency, you need to invest a few crores.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. How much money you need to invest if you have to start an event?
Today, you need a few crores because you need to build a certain amount of infrastructure around you. There are entry barriers. You need to have softwares. You need to have systems. You need to have an office address. You need to have GST. You need to have accounts. You need to have so many things. You need a proper infrastructure around if you want to be considered for the decent size events.
But won't that be a put off for my students? Having couple of crores.
We will talk about
That's
that.
a huge amount.
We will talk about when
मेरे बच्चे क्या करेंगे?
So if you have a vision, there is a way of doing it, and there is a right way of doing it.
Right.
And we will come to that.
Okay, great. So then from starting your company called Violet, Indigo, Blue, Green, Yellow, Orange, Red, VIBGYOR, how did EEMA happen? How did the foray into EEMA happen? How has EEMA nurtured you? What have you learned from EEMA, and what have you given back to EEMA? So what has been that journey with EEMA? Event Entertainment Management Association.
So Wendy, we started working in 2002. Organically, we grew. We started with 2 people, went on to 5, went on to 25, went on to 30. Every year we were doing 20-30% more turnover than the previous year. We started doing a lot of activations. VIBGYOR started being known in the industry for the massive activations that we could do. We work extensively for Hindustan Lever, for Dabur, for L'Oreal.
Right.
And we used to activate 100 locations, 200 locations, 500 locations in a day, whether they were malls or clubs or salons or modern trade outlets. And that became our mainstay. Somewhere in 2005 to 2015, we were very, very, very strong in activations, and that became our identity. And then after 2015, we consciously changed our identity and started doing large-scale events and started looking at the big billing items. EEMA came along the way sometime in 2008, and a few of us in Delhi got some notices from T-Series, from a division of theirs called TPPL for music licensing. And we didn't know what to do with them. These were 500-page notices, and we were like, what do we do with this? And I remember some 7-8 of us, Sanjeev Pastricha, Rajiv Jain, Vijay Arora, Jindi, myself, and a few others, we got together at the Meridian Hotel in 2007 and said...
Rajiv was also involved in this?
Yes, very much.
Okay. How many of you were there?
Maybe 7 to 10. 7 to 10 of us.
All right.
We got together. This was a meeting that was called, I think, by Jindi, if I'm not mistaken. And we all got together and we had a meeting at the Meridian Hotel in 2007. And we said that none of us individually can fight these guys. The only way to tackle them is if we unite.
Together.
And then we went to a lawyer and we wanted to file a case. And he said that you need to have an entity to file this case. So on the spot, sitting in the lawyer's office, we created a name, EEMA, Event and Entertainment Management Association.
Wow.
And that is how EEMA was born. And then it was registered as a not-for-profit society on 7th of July, 2008. It took us a few months to create the body, to create the bank account, to file for the tax number, etc., etc. And lo and behold, EEMA was born. Another wonderful accident. And today it has more than 1,000 members.
Yes.
Anybody in the business who is above a certain turnover is a part of EEMA. It does. Music licensing is only one of the small, many things that it works upon. From talent to policy to government to engagement.
Vendors,
to
everything.
Yeah. So we create systems and processes, health, safety, sustainability. There are so many things. So we are the only apex body of the event management industry in India. And I'm deeply involved and deeply passionate about EEMA. I spend over 50 to 60% of my entire time, my professional time, over 50 to 60%, every day 2 to 3 hours, and one full day a week. That's a Tuesday. I sit in the EEMA office, and I currently serve as the General Secretary. I've been involved in the National Executive Committee in different capacities over the last 15 years.
Right.
So I've served as Secretary, as Vice President, as practically every designation there is there. And it is a passion for me, because this is the industry that has given me everything that I have. This is the industry that has made me who I am. And this is my little way of giving back to my fraternity. And I passionately work towards the cause of improving the event management industry and making it an industry in India.
Right. So, as you know, Indian Institute of Creative Skills believes in churning out entrepreneurship, rather than just, working for a job. Of course, we have a lot of job placements, but we insist that we are an incubator. We give birth to entrepreneurs. So, how do you think this entrepreneurship will work successfully for our students? You are an entrepreneur yourself. How will it work successfully for our students?
So, Vandy, I think event management is one of the few areas which not just invite entrepreneurs, which creates a ecosystem around entrepreneurs.
Right.
It has very low entry barriers. If you compare it to any other industry, if you compare it to radio, TV, broadcast, any other industry, the entry barriers are the lowest in event management.
Right.
It welcomes entrepreneurs. It gives you an opportunity. It gives you chances to learn, to grow. And if you're able to contribute in the right way, if you're able to build systems and processes, if you're able to handle your people well, if you're able to handle your clients well, most importantly, if you have the correct values,
yes,
if you deliver what you promise. Unfortunately, a lot of the people in our industry don't have the correct values. If you deliver what you promised and you create a good reputation with your clients, a good reputation with your vendors, a good reputation with your employees, eventually that's what matters. If you have these three things, if you have the right ethics, you have the right culture, there is no way that an entrepreneur will fail in our industry. There is no way.
But you said now to become an entrepreneur, start your own event company, you need 3-4 crores. Where will these people get it from?
So,
is there a way out, another option or a way out?
The best way to become an entrepreneur in our industry is to work for 3 to 5 years.
For somebody else.
With somebody else. Make mistakes at somebody else's expense.
Now, this is important. You should tell
contacts. Make contacts at somebody else's expense. Make mistakes at somebody else's expense. Make vendor relationships at somebody else's expense. Then you will not need that kind of money. Make your partners at somebody else's expense. Work with somebody for 3 to 5 years. Learn the rope and don't be bad to them. Contribute to them. Give back to them. But at the end of those 5 years, tell them nicely that you want to become an entrepreneur and you have gathered the skills that are required to become an entrepreneur, and then start your own agency. You will not need that much money because you would have built your ecosystem. If you start afresh without these things, then you will need that kind of money. But once you've created your network, when I started my business, I remember we used to have this client. I don't know if I can take names, but Gillette was the client.
You can take names.
Yes. And when I started my agency, I first got a contract of 9 shows from them. And that was my seed money. That was the money that took me past my first few months. Right? So that was my seed money. I did not take home any profit for the first 1 year. Every rupee that I earned
was reinvested.
Was invested in. That was the seed money. So that is how you can work around this thing. Work for 3 to 5 years, make some clients, get some clients to eat out of your hand, get them to trust you. Everything is trust in our business. When today an employee of VIBGYOR goes to a client, while the legacy of VIBGYOR is there, the person trusts that employee that will my event, because Ankur and Dhruv are not there to handle that event.
Absolutely.
If Danish is going, or if Diba is going, or if Pragya is going, will my event be safe with Pragya? So my job is not to service 100 clients, is to create 100 Ankurs. That is my job, to create.
It's a beautiful
to
one.
make 100 mini Ankurs. So that is my job. As an entrepreneur, my job is to create 100 mini Ankurs, and those 100 mini Ankurs will be able to
take care of everything.
Take care of the business.
So VIBGYOR is an event powerhouse. Similarly, we plan to make IICS, Indian Institute of Creative Skills, as the IIT of creativity. Do you think such an institute will be a success in the market?
I think there is a huge need for such an institute. I go and speak at several colleges and I see the kind of hunger students have for this industry. See, what are the kind of things that it brings on the table? It brings creativity, it brings chaos, it brings thinking skills, it brings you need to be fully present, right? And it has very few entry barriers.
Right.
Not too many lines of work can boast of those kind of things, right?
Correct.
So there is a huge hunger. Every kid in every college wants to, everybody who's ever organized a college fest, everybody who's ever been part of an event wants to get into it, wants to get the adrenaline rush. That's the biggest thing, right? At the end of the event, when the client comes up to your hand, to you and shakes your hand and says, thank you.
Yes.
There is nothing like it, right? That feeling is you are on the top of this world. No amount of money can replace that feeling, right? It doesn't matter whether I've earned 1 lakh or 1 crore. But when at the end of a successful event, a client comes and says, Ankur, give me a hug. You made us all smile today.
Yes.
That feeling is unparalleled.
I know.
I don't think anybody, you've been in the events business for so long. I don't think any other line can give you that feeling.
No.
Right? So that is what we work for. And there is so much of enthusiasm around this. There are so many kids who want to get into it but don't know how. And that is why places like IICS are required, where excellence in this field is a way of life. You know, you have faculty, you have the best people in the industry as faculty.
Yes.
You've got the government, you've got the government backing it.
Yes.
You've got the Skills Development Council. You've got people from the film industry. So you have the best set of people who are the most qualified to lead people in the creative industry, right?
Yes. In fact, I think I mentioned that Wizcraft Mimes course is being followed here in our institute. We have signed up with them. So it's entirely Wizcraft Mimes course that is being followed here.
It is my alma mater.
Your alma mater. Absolutely.
Yes, I have great love for all three, for Sabas, Andre and Viraf. And so I think it's a great step and I think it's much needed. And I am absolutely certain in the next 2 to 3 years, it will be as sought after as an IIT or an IIM. And, this is the place to be.
So with that, we come to the rapid fire.
Should I be scared?
No, you shouldn't be scared at all. Not at all.
Are you going to ask me things which...
It's just short, spicy and little silly and stupid. I love having silly stuff in my show also. Okay. If college Ankur, me CEO Ankur met each other, what advice would he get?
Don't waste time in selling credit cards. Get into the event management business now.
Wonderful. Have you ever slapped a vendor?
Never. I would never think of doing that.
I know people who have.
It's all about mutual respect.
One subject you wish was never in school?
SUPW.
I thought it was such an interesting, you learned so much from it.
Okay. We used to call it some useful periods wasted.
Yes, we used to call it that, absolutely. One subject that should be in school?
Creative thinking. Yes. Out of the box.
Out of the box.
See, the future, as you know, is AI. All the menial jobs would be delegated to machines. And what will be left for us humans? Creative jobs, which is why we need IICS.
Wonderful. And I'm so happy we all are at the right place. And you all should be here too. And that was a wrap on today's episode of Made for Media, brought to you by Indian Institute of Creative Skills, Confetti, Coffee, and Creative Chaos. Well, we laughed, we learned, we realized that if creativity had a CEO, तो फिर कौन होना चाहिए? Bang on, Ankur Kalra. We would like to thank Ankur for bringing his spark to the show and for proving that India's creative future looks like one giant, fabulous, well-lit event and a roller coaster. Thank you, and remember, if you ever feel your life is out of control, just imagine वो एक live event है. Life को live event mano, and you will survive it with a beautiful smile. Till then, keep smiling, keep dreaming, and keep making events in your life. This is Dr. Vandana Vadera signing off. Bye-bye.